got a couple questions here about a running back starter, who will be a starting running back. I think one of those things, I mean, if you're playing fantasy, you're looking for the guy that's going to get the ball for the Patriots. I think everyone's going to get the ball. And I think that, I mean, Gillislee could be maybe the starter by definition because he'll be the one that'll maybe run the ball the most. But, I mean, they have versatility with all four running backs. James White might end up getting the most snaps out of all if they decide, you know, we're just going to spread teams out and pass the ball every time. It's going to be really tough to guess who's going to be the starter week in, week out. It's probably going to be a matchup play.
Yeah, it's going to be a game-to-game thing. I think Gillislee, if Gillislee's healthy, you figure he will be the back in like short yardage goal line situations. He was Buffalo's goal line back last year, even when LaShawn McCoy was playing, and he scored touchdowns at a higher rate than LeGarrette Blount did, honestly, per touch. I think he scored one touchdown per every 12 touches, whereas Blount was one touchdown per every 17 touches or so. So Gillislee's a good goal line back, really hits it hard, he runs very hard, he's 220 pounds. I think if you're looking at who's going to score the most touchdowns, I would bet him. Who's going to get the most touches? I mean, I really think it's to be decided. Burkhead, I know they like Burkhead a lot. I know that Belichick called him a four-down player, and he obviously loves his special teams ability, but you can see him, he catches the ball pretty naturally. He's a hard runner. And we haven't talked about Dion Lewis, who I've always felt was the best back on the team when healthy over the last 2 years. We're going to know more about Lewis when they play a preseason game, because in practice, you don't tackle the running backs in practice. So what makes Lewis so special is his ability to evade tacklers in these tight spaces and pick up 9 yards out of nothing. I mean, we saw that was when he really jumped off the screen in his first preseason game against, I believe it was Carolina or New Orleans back in 2015. We didn't really, we didn't recognize him much in practice. It wasn't like he was standing out in practice every day. And then we saw him in this preseason game just shaking guys at the line of scrimmage and making 12-yard runs out of nothing. And we were like, holy hell, this guy's good. This guy's really good. So we'll get a good gauge of where he is physically when we see them play in the preseason. If he's where he was in 2015, now being a year removed from having those 2 knee surgeries, I think he's got a shot to be the guy who ends with the most carries too. So it's really the most interesting position group, and I still think there's a lot to be decided there at running back.